After failing a quest in the last episode, I ended with the words, I promise that by the end of next episode I'm gonna have fully enchanted netherite armor and tools, no matter how long it will take me. So I've now upgraded all of my armor with the netherite that wasn't lost, but that's not enough, cause I wanna get that precious metal for all of my tools by only raiding bastions. And to top it all off, I challenged myself to neither sleep nor die until day 1000. So let's get started. And I've installed a day counter, and I'm gonna tell you day by day what happens while getting netherite. And there you can see we're at day 826, so I can make a little update every day so that it's easier to cut. And now let's go to the nether and try to find the bastions. It's hilarious, I use the wrong portal every time. So the adventure started on day 826. After a few minutes I found the treasure bastion, and after killing a horde of enemies with the help of my good armor, 9 3/4 teaspoons of luck and a pinch of skill, I climbed down the treasure room that gives this place its name and killed some more pigs while doing so. I then removed the magma cube spawner to lower the possibility of me getting knocked into the lava, and now I'm wondering why am I playing with these subtitles. They're not helpful and insanely annoying. Since all the things calmly explained a second ago were now conducted, I felt that it was safe enough to put my attention away from killing and towards looting. And it didn't really pay off. But nothing to worry about, because at least in regard to finding bastions my luck was quite good. So I put up a miserable fight with some of the native pigs, but I've got good armor and they don't, so I still survived. But good equipment can only get you so far, so driven by greed I nearly killed myself several times in the matter of minutes, while day 827 began. Due to a golden apple and another 13 teaspoons of luck, I was able to reach the loot alive, and this time it was at least kinda decent. There was nothing worth telling on day 827, but after the arrival of day 828 it didn't take long until I discovered another big pig hotel, where I hoped to find netherite ingots for once, so that I could make a bit more progress on my dangerous quest. Then I found myself in a precarious situation once again after I'd forgotten to put on my chest plate, and I began to seriously doubt that I'd be able to survive until day 1000. But luckily I then found several chests with loot that cheered me up a bit, before getting reminded of what my non-existing cautiousness could get me into once again. But by some miracle I just kept surviving, and the loot that was to be found in the chest gave me in total 1 netherite scrap. From now on we fortunately don't have to talk so much anymore, cause I finally came to my senses and put a bit more effort into trying to survive. So after having yet another discovery on day 828, I went in there forgetting to wear my chestplate. Did I say something about coming to my senses? Anyway, I found a netherite scrap, made my way down the treasure room without having a near-death experience for once, and got rewarded with 2 netherite ingots, which made the 4th bastion more helpful than the 3 previous ones combined. On day 829 I looted a non-treasure bastion for the possibility of some ancient debris, and immediately proved my intelligence by mining the block directly under me and hitting a zombified piglin. Then I found a lodestone, which would turn out to be the only thing worth mentioning. And guess what happened on day 830? Well, I raided a bastion, what do you expect? And since there was nothing of interest to be found there, I just flew off and messed up recording somehow. But I have footage from day 831, and here you're gonna hear me live again for a few seconds. It's now day 831 and I've sorted everything I got, so here are all the unstackable loot things except the golden apple because I only got 1. And then I got all of these stackable things, and also 3 ancient debris I already had before. And I've now got a big brain idea. Because I fell into the lava so often in the last 1 or 2 hours I was raiding, so I decided I'm just gonna take the gold and trade with the piglins in this bastion back there I was just in, so that I can get fire resistance potions. So with that genius idea I tried to find piglins in the nearest bastion, but for some reason I couldn't find any, so I searched for the next best place. Upon reaching the next big pig location, I traded a bunch until I had acquired a set of 7 fire resistance potions, with which I could continue my journey on day 832. and at this point I could have stopped looting because there was enough netherite to upgrade the essential things, but I still decided to keep going. This had been my worst decision of this whole video, because as it happened so many times before, I wasn't careful enough and forgot about putting on my chest plate. But this time I'd already used up all of my luck. Instead there were 13 teaspoons of unluck, which had all manifested themselves in that one block. That one block that stood in my way, that one block that secured Brutus's kill. Brutus won by pixel 0. This was an awful moment, but I'll now have to explain some more. I would have just gone on with my world after dying. It was only a failed personal challenge after all, but I hadn't set myself that challenge out of nowhere. I had actually been very inspired, mostly by the likes of Looney, to try some challenges again. To have to be careful, to do hardcore, but more on that later. First, there are some important things that I still have to do. But at first, they didn't go very well. Like in the last episode, I got dragged down by my mistakes and I made a ton more. But I was still determined to keep true to my word and have a set of full netherite equipment. So I prepared myself, making all of my tools into netherite with what I had already found, grabbing another set of armor, brewing up tons of potions, and flying thousands of blocks searching for an outpost to be able to play a raid and get hold of some totems. But against all odds I located a second mansion without having a map for it before seeing a single outpost. Naturally I decided to raid it instead, and even though the unusual amount of waxes forced me to waste a bunch of golden apples, I still got out alive and with some totems. But after hours of preparing, I got onto the nether roof and traveled all of the 45,000 blocks to be close to a location which I had scouted out in creative in a test world before and where I thought my stuff might be. I built a second portal on the nether roof, flew a few hundred blocks further, and on the dawn of day 864, I finally re-entered the nether. On the way to retrieve my old stuff, I found another treasure bastion which I decided to raid very carefully, shooting with my bow and making sure that no mobs could reach me. This was the best bastion I had ever found because it contained just one scrap shy of 3 netherite ingots. 2 ingots, 1 ancient debris and 2 netherite scrap to be precise. Just a few minutes later I spotted the sort of bastion I'd actually died in. But after searching at the right spot thoroughly, I discovered what I had already suspected. It wasn't the right one. But despite my disappointment, I still decided to raid the thing, and right in my first chest I found another piece of ancient debris. This meant I had now found 3 netherite ingots on this journey, and together with the 3 ancient debris that had already been in my possession before starting to record this episode, I was just one shy of being able to upgrade all of my armor. And at this point I'd already given up all hope for my old stuff, so this was the thing to hope for. I opened 2 chests, but I had no luck with them. Then, as I was busy shooting the locals off a cliff with my bow, one of them greeted me with a punch from behind, so that I fell down to the lower area of the bastion as day 865 started. Just a few seconds later I got knocked down even further, and this time fell into the lava. Luckily I had some fire resistant potions with me, and when I opened the third chest that didn't give me anything even remotely useful just for the pigs to keep bullying me, I decided that I'd had enough of this bastion and flew off, hoping to get another one so that I could finally complete my mission. On the 866 I found something that seemed to be a combination of a basalt biome and a treasure bastion at last, and obviously entered it. And in the treasure room I luckily found some netherite again, so I'd finally done it. After glitching myself back onto the nether roof, I flew back home with a ton of relief and upgraded my armor. And now I have to explain some more, but that's gonna be done by live me. So I'm back in shiny netherite armor, but I obviously failed the challenge to not die. And that's why I made the radical decision to stop this world and go back to hardcore. Because I really rushed into the world, deciding to not play hardcore anymore and not scouting a good seed. But now I'm inspired, especially by Looney, to make hardcore without sleeping even once, and to make some real nice movies in between the episodes. And other than that, I also researched how to lower my chances of dying, and there's gonna be a video about that next week. And before even trying to do hardcore, I'm gonna do 100 days of ultra hardcore without sleeping, so that I learned to be careful. But with all of that, I'm positive that I'm gonna reach episode 10 in the next hardcore let's play. And for here, I'm out.